This is certainly not ideal. The camper's worst nightmare. Packing up in the rain. I was going to break camp and head up to 1770. I think I might wait a while. See if it improves. I'll head into town. They say rum warms the soul, so I might visit the brewery. Not this one, that's a whole other story. This one. Hello, how are you?
Got a 12 book ready?
I have, 11 o'clock. Rum has long been a valuable commodity used as currency between traders, pirates and sailors. In 1770, when James Cook first sailed the Endeavour into Botany Bay, he had some 1,600 gallons aboard. On arrival, the first fleet had little cash, but their ship's stores were loaded with rum. After settlement, a regiment of questionable soldiers formed what was known as the New South Wales Corps. Known as the Rum Corps, they controlled the importation and trade of rum and, as a result, more or less ran the economy. England saw this clearly as no way to run a colony. In 1806, they sent one Captain William Bligh with orders to put things right. Bligh spent no time stepping on toes. He had already chalked up one mutiny on his now famous ship the Bounty, and within 2 years he had caused another one. The French have their French Revolution, the Americans their Civil War. In Australia, we have the Rum Rebellion. Throughout the 1870s and 1880s, from Brisbane to Cairns, sugar planting became the order of the day. In essence, the industry was booming, and by 1885 there were 166 sugar mills in the colony of Queensland. Sugar production, however, produces a byproduct: sticky, syrupy, hard to get rid of, molasses. Queensland sugar mills simply had buckets of the stuff, not to mention casks, kegs, vats, and any other suitable container was used to store the black liquid. And nowhere was there a stickier problem than in Bundaberg. By 1884, Bundaberg's rich volcanic soils were producing 20% of the sugar in Australia, therefore producing 20% of all the molasses as well. It was even starting to flow into the river. On the 1st of August 1885, 9 men met at the Royal Hotel to discuss turning all that molasses into a damn tasty drink. The result being the founding of the Bundaberg Distillery Company, the distinguished purveyors of Bundy Rum. It was on the banks of the Burnett River, right next to the Milliquin sugar mill, that those 9 great men of history decided to build the colony's biggest and most state-of-the-art distillery. Using punts to collect molasses from 40-odd sugar mills up, down and beyond the river, the Bundaberg Distillery began operations in 1888 with a working capital of £5,000. "134 years and over 20 variants later, Bundaberg Rum is experienced all over the world, but no more than here in Queensland, where an average of 6% of adults drink Bundy every month. In 1961, Bundaberg Rum introduced the polar bear as its iconic mascot to imply that the rum would ward off the coldest chill. Another story is that the designer of the distinctive bottle, Sam McMahon, brother of Prime Minister William, chose the polar bear as McMahon means son of bear, and his favourite bear was the polar bear. Now I get to go and do the tour. We've got to all meet in the cinema, and they're going to take all our electronic gear. They say it's because it's full of spirits and something might explode, but my thoughts are they're just trying to keep the formula secret. But it is what it is. So it's time to go for a tour. Still raining. Home of Bundy. So gear in the lockers, including the camera. This is what I learned. How to make Bundy. Start with molasses. Sugar mills operate only 5 months a year, so you need to store it. This distillery therefore has huge holding ponds containing millions of litres, enabling a constant supply all year round. Add water to dilute and heat. This causes unwanted impurities to settle out as a sludge which, when extracted, can be used as a fertiliser. The clarified molasses is then further diluted and yeast is added. The distillery has its own special yeast called Saccharomyces cerevisiae. A sample of Saccharomyces cerevisiae is kept in a laboratory overseas, so the yeast produced at the distillery can be matched regularly against the control sample to confirm its consistency and no mutations have occurred. The mixture then goes through a 3-part fermentation and distilling process. Each time the alcohol content is increased, reaching 78% after the final process. The raw rum is then placed in huge vats made by coopers of American white oak and holding some 60,000 litres. Left to mature for over 2 years, the rum is then blended with purified water, thoroughly tested for quality and shipped to the distributor. Tour's done, got my camera back, and now for the best part, the taste test.
Now, those little lanyards you've got around your necks, you can pop them off now. Because they're under a grease pass. What you need to do is when you come up, just pop them out to us, put a couple of holes in the bottom. That way I know you've had the samples. Otherwise I find you just keep coming around and I'm going to get all that.
One last thing left to do. Go shopping. This is my favourite. It's stopped raining. Time to pack up and head out. Creek. This will tell me what the tide's doing. Yeah, tide's out, I think. Oh no, it might be in. Normally that's just a pile of rocks. Agnes water. Past the hotel. A12, you can see it. Right there. Now, all I've got to do is manage to get in there somehow. This is always the hard part.